Hello. Last August, we went out to the Pacific Northwest for a vacation. Linda's family is out there. She has two sisters out there, some nieces and nephews and assorted other relatives. So anyway, in August, we went out to the Pacific Northwest to visit her family, but also, while we were out there, we did something which was kind of fun. We rented a house in Oregon, right on the coast, and Linda's always loved the Oregon coast. She has a lot of childhood memories of going there, to Cannon Beach especially, and other locations on the Oregon coast. We actually tried to rent a house in Cannon Beach, but it was very expensive there. It's a very popular place. So we found a very nice house in Rockaway Beach, which is a little south of Cannon Beach. And this happened to be a really nice house up on a hill with a great view. The house had 3 decks on it. A great view of Rockaway Beach and the rock formation. It's called the Twin Rocks there. You could see it quite well from the house. Unfortunately, it was foggy and cloudy a lot of the time. While staying at the house, we had some of Linda's family stay with us. Linda's 2 sisters, Nancy and Carol, stayed with us the whole time. And for the first few days, her nephew, Jeremy, stayed with us. What you're looking at right now is the view from this house. And we could see those Twin Rocks, as I mentioned. You also had a good view of the town. And you can see a train going by right now. And later on, we're going to take a ride on that train. All right, that's Rockaway Beach at night. What time is it? It's probably about 9 o'clock at night. While we were there, the first place we visited was Cannon Beach. This, as I said, is one of Linda's favorite old memories from her childhood, is going to Cannon Beach. And actually, when we first got together, back in 1991, that's one of the first places we went. And we're going to see right now Cannon Beach from our visit, my first visit there in 1991. Okay, we're now at Cannon Beach. Linda has found a new friend, someone she likes better than me, it looks like, right here at Cannon Beach. And that is called Haystack Rock, for obvious reasons. And on that visit, 2 of her sisters were with us, Carol and Nancy, the same sisters, who were with us this past summer.
There might be something that's cool.
He's scared.
I'm scared.
Still pretty scared.
Gotta get out of here before the tide comes in, or I'll get stuck. I can find my way.
Hi.
Here we are. Hey, it's right. The Haystack Rock is right behind you. Okay, here's a kite that Jeremy is flying right now. There he is. Got you guys. There she is, Haystack Rock. So here we are at the rock. So we can't climb on it today because it's The water is one way. I can zoom in. The Castellite isn't terribly good. That's the world famous South Rock. Now the next thing we did was to drive up to Ecola State Park, which is just a little bit north of Cannon Beach. And we had a nice picnic there. And while we were having this picnic, we noticed some rather unusual squirrels. They were a little chubby, they're probably picnickers, probably feed them all the time, and they had these white spots. I don't think I've ever seen squirrels that look quite like that. We're at Indian Point. This is Indian Beach down here. We're on the Lighthouse Trail. All right. Walking up, hiking up to this view of the lighthouse. As you can see, it's a pretty steep hike over quite a precipice down there. And hopefully soon we'll be able to see the lighthouse that we came all this way to. See, maybe fly the little spark, the little lava lava, and see what we can see.
I asked the lady back there, you probably can't hear me, but... And she said it's about 10 minutes from where we stopped last time. And it's foggy by the lighthouse, but if you look over to the left, you can see something.
For some reason I was playing around with the camera controls and somehow I switched it to sepia mode. So you're going to see a few little videos that are in sepia color. I'll zoom in. I might try to fly the drone a little bit. But I certainly can't fly out that far. We did try to fly the spark up there, but it was so windy I was afraid that it would blow away, so I didn't dare fly it out in any way. All right, I'm walking on the beach at Ecola State Park, about to witness Jeremy. I'm looking at it, gotta look at the lens. Jeremy's about to do some boogie boarding, and I thought he was an experienced boogie boarder, but he has not done this since he was 10 years old. There he goes. Oh, I can't go out there. I'm going to get wet if I keep going. I'm going to get wet. Okay, here we are, Nancy and Linda and me. We're watching Jeremy out there. Somewhere out there. Yeah, maybe we're going to get this one. No. Here comes a good one. There he goes. Oh, yeah, I think he got that one. Oh, that one he got good. There he goes. He's coming all the way in. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Good job. Good job. And then he's coming in. Now the next day we went up to a place called Hug Point. Now this looked like a very promising place to visit visually because there are sea caves, waterfalls, cliffs. Cave over there. There's supposed to be a waterfall around here someplace, but I don't see it.
Around the point we'll see it.
Dark in there. Linda has found what she believes is the stagecoach trail that they used back in the day. It's supposed to be wheel ruts in the rocks. Is that what this is? Those could be ruts from stagecoaches when this was the only way to go to travel in this part of the coast. Now, our next event, by this time, Jeremy had left, and Linda's niece, Teresa, had joined us, along with her grandchildren, all of her grandchildren. And we went down south of Rockaway Beach this time to a place another place that Linda remembered very much as a child, a place called Happy Camp, where they would often go with their parents and stay at these little bungalows, whatever you call them. The next stop was a place called Oceanside. This is another place that's sort of similar to Hug Point with beaches and cliffs. And the unique thing about this is this tunnel that goes through one of the cliffs there and comes out the other side. So we had to go through that. All right, we're right now at Oceanside, Oregon. This is a beach and some rocks. Those rocks out there, supposedly sea lions congregate there. Go, baby, go. Through the tunnel.
Yeah, you might need a license.
Yes.
Yeah, it turns into like a cave.
Back.
It's a turn to a cave.
Although it's so bright out there, it's surprising that the flashlights are hard to see.
Check the rocks.
You need that? There's the rocks.
Yeah, there are some boulders there.
Oh, yeah. Watch your step. That's pretty clear now. All right, I see a light at the end of the tunnel. I'll come up and do it, darling. I have to help now. All right, we went through the tunnel, and now we're walking along a stretch of beach here. There's rocks over here. We go on to these rocks over here, which are much closer to the beach. Climbing on these rocks, I'm not sure if they should be doing it. I don't see any sea lions. Caden's gonna climb this one. I'm not sure they'll... Supposed to be sea lions out there somewhere. The tide is coming in here.
Wow, there are a bunch of them all over that rock.
There we are.
I actually saw a sea lion.
We saw sea lions. We're in Oceanside, Oregon, and walked through this tunnel. On the other side of the beach, and then rocks. And there's sea lions way out, so we had to use binoculars to see them.
Yeah, really far out there, but we saw them moving around and whatever, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Now we're going to go back through the tunnel. We have to climb up. Back at the tunnel.
I know, right?
Okay, coming along. Don't go into the light.
You were the one. Yeah. I was here. You were just scared.
Finally, want to scare us.
I scared us.
Who's that? Oh, there we are. The next stop was Cape Meares, and there's a lighthouse there, and we went. That's the first thing we went to is the lighthouse, but unfortunately our timing wasn't too good because they were on their break or something, so we couldn't actually go up inside the lighthouse. It's kind of a very small little lighthouse. Someone is up there having their. Oh, there are people up there.
It's a private tour.
But it's a private party up there.
Maybe they're inspecting it. Those are really cool. It must be really bright, huh?
Light, yeah. We are almost to the octopus tree. I think that's Nancy behind me. And And I don't know where Linda is, back there with Carol. And it should be right ahead there. Beautiful forest around here. Tall trees. Here we come. I think we found it. There it is. The octopus tree. Do not climb on tree. It's tempting to climb up there. Okay. Octopus tree. Now, previously I showed you the view from our house, and we could see that train, that old historical train going by. So we had to do it. The whole group of us went for a ride on the Oregon Coast Scenic Railroad from Rockaway Beach to Garibaldi and back. Really open car.
It's a happy time. The kids are all loving it, and we are too.
Yeah.
Going to Garibaldi.
Garibaldi, here we come. Too stinky. Come in there with a cat. Little pond here. Caboose. I can see the caboose. Seagulls. The engineer out here. You have it?
Yeah.
Train. Relatively modern train compared to what we've been on. Walking around it. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, get a little closer to the locomotive. That might be fun. Ready to go. Nice and shiny. Getting all oiled up, ready to go. There it is. There's that train. We better get on board. Waiting to take off. Go back to Rockaway Beach. our car right over there. That's our rental car right there. The red one. Okay. We made it. Another beach fire. Caden is starting up a fire. One of our kids over there is flying a kite or trying to fly a kite. Is that Jackson? It must be Jackson, I guess. Nancy is the first one to start with the dog, and here comes Carol. That's the way to do it. Put your chair right by the fire.
Hold it while I put this together. Why don't you help him hold it up? He needs to let more string out.
Of course, we have to roast marshmallows too, in addition to the dogs.
I just said no.
Dessert.
Well, it's so
He's really near our campfire here. He's not afraid of the fire.
Hey, what are you doing? You want to put it on?
Jackson's gonna have another marshmallow. He's pretty cold. He's been in the water. So we had to leave, and on our way north, we stopped at another state park. This was Oswald State Park, and had a picnic there. And it was kind of an interesting trail leading to the beach there. Here we are at Oswald State Park. Just had a wonderful picnic lunch.
Pretty much.
Nancy was over here. Now we're going to walk back on this very interesting half-mile trail. It's kind of colorful, and I'm going to show some of the more interesting things that you see along the trail. And as we traveled, we were traveling from Oregon up to Washington State to visit with Linda's niece, Teresa. And on the way up there, she showed us, we went to Astoria, went through Astoria, and she knew a place where you could see sea lions. And we found some sea lions. Well, okay. Go on, let them on. Go on. That will conclude this video showing our vacation on the Oregon coast. Shortly after getting back from the Oregon coast, we went up to Maine for a few days, and I've got a lot of video from that trip. We stayed in a cottage on Watson Pond. That will conclude this video, and I do hope you enjoyed it. Bye now.